Welcome back to Marvel Champions Podcast, a podcast about Marvel Champions, the card game. I'm your host, and with me as always, my co-host, Ryan.
I really liked the enthusiasm of that intro, Scott. Really great job. Fine work.
Well, Ryan, I'm excited because when this episode airs, we will have played the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. campaign. So I'm just anticipating my excitement for when that happens and when this airs. So I'm happy.
Yeah, okay. All right. Do I need to act like I've played it already or
Yeah. Tell us what
okay.
your initial thoughts are now.
Okay.
Future Ryan.
No. Hey, this is Future Ryan. The Agent Shield box is the worst box. I'm just kidding.
Dang.
No idea because I technically haven't played it. But by the time this comes out, hopefully I have played it. In fact, I think, Scott, we would be probably playing it right now.
Right now, a little bit after this episode release. So, yeah, we'll be playing Marvel Champions all day long. So, should be good.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got caught by the whole delay bug, and then it's not a great time for the delay as our schedules aren't aligning. So, for us to play, we gotta schedule out a little bit different.
I think what I'll do is I'll play it and then sabotage you and be like, Ryan, you need to do this and this, knowing that's going to be really bad for you.
Okay. I think you should play this card right now.
Or I'll just act surprised, be like, oh no, it was this guy.
This was the actual bad guy.
It's going to be one of those, it's like, I think you need to defeat that minion, Ryan. And then you defeat it, and then we flip to the next stage, and it's like, if no heroes are engaged with a minion, draw 3 encounter.
You would die.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really great time. Thank you for letting me know.
That's right. But in the coming weeks, we'll have some talks about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and our thoughts and villains and heroes and all the good stuff. So,
Ooh, I'm excited, but you're right. It is not quite that time yet. So instead, we're going to continue our Aspect Accountability series for everyone's favorite green aspect. Technically the only green aspect, protection.
If you've ever wanted a green card, this is your aspect.
Jeez.
The cards are great, right?
Yes, I know. I'm not sure how to approach the next part of this sentence now. You kind of threw me off. All right. That's right. Scott, put you on the spot. What is the main purpose of protection? What is its primary goal?
It is to defend, whether for yourself or for others, to prevent damage from the bad guy.
All right. Well, that was easy. All right, we can pack up.
Super easy. If you want to go from a chop to a jab.
Yep, absolutely agree. It's all about the defense stat and how to defend for yourself and for others. So I like it. I think it's a very noble aspect.
It is. It's one of those, silent heroes. They just take that damage and then they, keep going, keep fighting.
Yeah, the aspect that everyone wants, but doesn't get the spotlight. They're like the linemen of American football. They truly are the most important part.
Yeah, the heart and soul of the team.
Of a team, but it's the quarterback and receivers and running back that gets all the love.
Gets all the glory. Hey, watch me defeat this bad guy in this side scheme. But we all know who the real heroes are.
And taking Ronin's 8 attacks in one turn. And probably not surviving.
Juggernaut with all of his momentum counters just to the face.
To the face.
To the face. Yeah.
Yeah, I will have to admit, before we get into the secondary one, protection, when it first came out, I wasn't a big fan of it. I liked the idea behind it, but it just felt very rough in the damage and thwarting. But it's definitely changed and it's definitely one of my more favorite aspects nowadays.
I would agree with you, Ryan. That was going to be my question to you. I felt like it got a little bit of a rough start. They couldn't make all the aspects amazing from the core box, and I think protection got the short end of the aspect from the core box, but I think it's made up for it in time since.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely gets the star or the picture in the yearbook of most improved.
Gets the most improved trophy. Okay. Everybody's got to get it, right? Somebody's got to get it.
Somebody's got to get it. But what is the secondary objective of protection? This one's a little hard for me because I thought I knew, and then I'm like, well, maybe there's others, or maybe I'm just not thinking of the right one.
I've got a few floating in my head, but I think one that comes back a little probably more often or easier than other aspects is I think the ability to gain tough status cards, maybe.
That's definitely one. Yeah, you got aggression that does stun, you've got justice that does confuse. Protection is the tough status card aspect for sure. Yeah. The one I have been thinking about is the ready aspect. I feel like there are more ready abilities in protection than any other.
That was going to be my second pick.
Yeah, there's a couple of events that do it. There's some upgrades that can help you do that. And I guess it makes sense because you're defending, and if you're defending, you're exhausting, so you can't do anything else. So being able to ready is pretty powerful for and needed for protection.
Yeah, I think you're right. Ryan, what resource type is typically associated with protection?
That would be the lightning bolt.
I don't think I'll insert a lightning sound there. I'll just let you use yours.
Yeah, please. You can just do a soundbite on that. I could have done like Cars, a Lightning McQueen. I can been like,
no, maybe I'll do that for you.
Chow, Kachuga.
Oh yeah, you want to know the forecast? I'll give you the forecast. 100% chance of thunder.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other little things before we get into the cards.
There is some stun, I will say. They've got some stun.
They do.
Baked in
quite
here
a
and
bit.
there. Yeah. I think a little bit of villain deck manipulation here and there.
Yeah, I can see that.
Counter card.
I feel like protection also has the most web warrior related cards for an aspect than any others, other than I guess like basic.
Yeah, I think it had at least one Ghost Spider was protection in that wave.
Yeah. Let's see. Nope,
I can't remember
one.
Who, if there was another one.
Thwip is a really good web warrior card for protection. That one allows you to stun a hecaton.
Now, is that one SP?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think those were the two. Yeah, so it got a double web warrior release.
Yeah, and Spider Tingle is the other one. That one's pretty good. All right, man. Let's see. Where should we start this time?
I say we start with player side schemes.
The card after my own heart. Let's see. We got 3. So I think the best one, honestly, I don't think any of them are great, but probably the best one is Establish Perimeter.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's probably my one I would probably run. Astonishing X-Men has its place if you just want to sit on it and then use it when you need it. But on the other hand, there's some villains where it doesn't even work.
Yeah. I do like that it's fixed. It's a fixed value, but that doesn't help you in single player as much. But any multiplayer, that can be really good. Again, depending on the villain. Render Medical Aid, I think that one can be really good. For some reason, I just haven't played it that much. But I mean, Healing 5, pretty great. So especially if you're running a bunch of allies, that could be beneficial.
Sure. If you're digging into like an ally protection.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Scott. Let's go to the resources, and I have a question for you. Where I'm going to flip the script, and we're going to play one of your favorite games. Have you ever?
Okay.
Have you ever, Scott, played Defensive Energy?
I think I have because it was in a precon, but it's tough. Some of these that are villain turn dependent are not my favorite. I just feel they're very clunky.
It messes with your flow.
Because if I get this card and then I don't have a defense event, it's a worthless card in its hero interrupt. Yes, it's still a resource, I get that. But I can't use it for its intended purpose.
That's fair enough. Scott, have you ever played Perseverate?
Excuse me now? Yes, I have, because it was in a precon. I think that came with Adam Warlock.
Man, this is a terrible version of the game.
Yeah.
I failed.
Yeah, you're not very good. That's why I'm the host of that game.
Oh, dang it.
See, like, at least that one you can benefit if you're using it on your hero phase. So,
That
still, I don't think it's amazing because I could have another card that's worth one resource that, is one heal worth something, really.
Yeah, it's not my favorite, but I guess I could see it being beneficial in very certain circumstances. But definitely the power of protection is the best one.
Yeah, I'll stick with my power protection for my expensive allies and protection.
Yeah. I'll die. All right. Flip a coin. Support, upgrades, events, or allies.
All right, flip the coin. Let's go upgrades.
Was it a four-sided coin?
Yes, it's a four-sided. Heads I win, tails you lose.
Oh, upgrades.
This one's tough. There are
It is
some
really tough.
key protection upgrades that I include in a lot of decks.
Yeah. I think protection probably has the best overall upgrades of any aspect, I feel like.
Yeah, this one's tough.
Going on a record. People hold me to it.
All right. I'll let
Let's
you
see.
go first, Ryan. You give me, if you can only take one protection upgrade, which one are you going to take, man?
I think I'm going to go with what I have found to be my most tried and true protection card. And that's going to be Unflappable.
That is the correct answer. And breaking news, this just in, Daredevil confirmed for the game. I see it here on the card art right now.
Oh, is that how that works? Oh, I wish it was so simple.
So that was what I was going to pick. I think hands down consistency and the value that it brings, especially if you're playing protection, you potentially use a lot of your cards in the villain phase, so you get a smaller hand size going into your next player phase. So
yeah, it's been so good since Doctor Strange. It's been awesome, and I use it, I would say, 90% of my protection decks. So some other ones that are of some pretty good note. Flow Like Water, I think, is a pretty solid protection upgrade, especially if you are going all into the defense cards. It can be pretty powerful.
yeah, there's definitely a lot of one cost or no cost defense events that you can play, which really can combo off that.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
I'll do two more. One more, Electrostatic Armor, I think has always been a great addition. Then, there's so many. One more. Let's go with Armored Vest. I mean, it's so classic.
You took like every single like basic core staple of the upgrades, right?
Yes.
That's
I left
crafty
you
move,
at least one that's super common.
So I'm just gonna do some honorable mentions here. You're probably saying Energy Barrier.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So Energy Barrier is pretty
classic.
good. It's a classic. Always helps. I think one that's fun to use, it's a little outside of what you've just talked about, is Pin Down. Kind of get to play like Vision a little bit. Attach it onto a minion, they get -2 attack.
Okay. I feel that. That's
We've
good
had a
little
lot of heroes
tactic.
recently that deal with a lot of upgrades being attached and doing things. So, that's one I think is kind of underrated. One that I want to like more, and sometimes like there was a little time where I used it a whole bunch, was Nerves of Steel. I think it's got its deck. People, if a character needs it for some resource generation, I think it's with him.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
And I think some here, trying to see. This one, I think, for some people, probably is in high regard, is hard to ignore. Probably the biggest thing that people get a lot of complaints of with protection is dealing with threat. This was a card that was introduced relatively early in the game. Third wave, second cycle, something like that. After your hero defends against an attack and takes no damage, exhaust, hard to ignore, remove one threat from the main scheme.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
One card that came out recently that I need to play more with is Change of Fortune. I think that has some more potential that I haven't fully unlocked yet.
Yeah, I think that one's, you just gotta have the right hero to make that work more frequently. I think that's big. You gotta have a little bit of the right setup, because if you only have the villain out, the chance you're gonna defeat the villain on the villain phase is very low. So you need some minions. So yeah,
Cool.
I agree.
All right.
Good upgrades. Whew, that's good.
Let's go ahead. Are you ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
Let's go to one that's going to be difficult as well. Events.
We went right to the top here. Okay.
Now, how about this? I will say one, and then I'll let you say as many as you want. That way I don't steal it, and you can steal all mine.
Okay.
One protection card that I think everyone loves, at least I really like, and I wanted to steal it before you, is Taunt. It's awesome. I feel like it's become a staple for most of my protection decks as well.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to throw out a few here because you took a whole bunch. I like if I'm building a deck, these are some common ones that I throw in just because they're so good. So I think Defiance is an amazing card, especially if you're building off that, taking no damage. Getting rid of the boost card is pretty big.
Yeah, I think that's really good.
What doesn't kill me? Really good. One thing you mentioned was readying. To be able to heal and ready. So powerful in this game.
So good.
So good. And then I think a new one that I think is going to get a lot more play, and kind of you can probably go back and play it in a few scenarios and make certain heroes better, is Come Get Me, Bub. Pretty good one.
Agreed with that one. Yeah.
Let's see what else. I think there's like a subset of kind of one cost defense events that maybe we can chat about separately, which we can get to. But I think another one which is good, it's a little bit niche, is Ever Vigilant. Vigilant.
I think that's one of the best aerial cards in the game, aspect-wise.
Yeah, it's pretty good. A ready and threat removal for 2 costs. And with, newer aerial resource cards, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, let's look at some of these, unless you've got another
I'll
event
throw in some.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so one that I really like, I don't get to play it all the time, because it really is hero dependent, but I'm a huge fan of Leading Blow. I don't feel like I hear much about it, but I love what it does, and I don't think I've, maybe once out of all the times I've played it, it didn't work, but other than that, it's been really consistent for technically a risk card.
Okay, that's the one when you make a base tap, you remove the top counter card, reduce it by the number of printed boost icons. Okay.
Yeah.
And then ready, and then potentially punch them again. Okay.
Yep. So if you, best case scenario, you were playing with like a 3 attack hero and you do 2 or 3, the encounter card only has like 1 boost icon, and then you ready up and do it again. For 0 cost, you're doing like 5. That's pretty great.
Yep.
I think it definitely depends on the deck, but I think Reap a Purpose is actually pretty good. Again, it has a ready and it boosts your stats. I played this in a Rocket deck, I think our last game together, and I played Protection, and I did a bunch of tech, and I did Repurpose, and it worked like a charm, and Rocket was rocketing out of space. He was so good.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to make something happen there. Just go with
That's
it.
Good. Yeah, that's good, man.
I'm trying to see if there's any other. We'll probably talk about that one, so I'll skip that one. Is there another one? Is there? Hard Knocks is all right. Not a big fan of that card, so we won't talk about that one. All right, that's all I'll do.
All right, Ryan. I'm gonna throw out some cards here. We're gonna do a this or that. Okay.
Oh, I like this. All right, let's do it.
All right, this or that. Desperate Defense or Jump Flip.
I didn't think you were going to do that one. I would probably do Desperate Defense. I like the ready.
Okay. All right, this or that. Never Back Down or Sidestep.
See, that's the one I thought you were going to do with Desperate Defense. Okay, Never Back Down. That's the stun. And what was the other one you said?
Sidestep.
I really like Sidestep. I think the answer should be Never Back Down, but I'm going to go with Sidestep.
Okay.
I like that I don't have to defend with it to play it.
Yeah.
So I can stay ready.
Well, technically, when you play it, you are defending at that point, and it would be a defended attack.
I don't have to exhaust, let's say, to play it.
Correct.
Whereas Never Back Down, I've got to, in general, most of the time I'm going to have to.
We're talking most of the time.
But I mean, you could combo, and I guess, no, you can't. I was going to say you could technically combo, but it's adding to your defense. So, well, I don't know.
I think you could still trigger it because it doesn't say a basic defense. So you could
So
play like a Defiance and then play Never Back Down.
Yeah. Could you technically play Sidestep and then Never Back Down?
Sidesteps and Never Back Down.
Because I feel like its window is past.
Say no. I would say you need to play Never Back Down and then you can play Sidestep.
Yes, because I feel like the window of taking damage is after the window of choosing to defend.
All right. I think I got maybe one or two more here, right?
Okay,
Would you, sorry, not would you rather, this or that? Not today. Or, trying to find another one cost here. True Grit.
Ooh, that's an interesting one. True Grit does not add to your defense, but could potentially help with your thwart. But Not Today also helps with thwart. I think I'm gonna go with Not Today, because I feel like half the time if you're playing protection, you may have a hero that has like a 1 thwart, so it's not even going to do that much.
Yeah, and most protection geared heroes are always like a 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
So
There's a lot of 1, 2, 3s.
Yeah. All right. These aren't really super comparable, but let's go Powerful Punch or Tackle.
Powerful Punch,
We have an older card versus a newer card.
That's an interesting one. You know what? I really like the stun of Tackle, but I feel like there's a lot of options to stun nowadays. So Powerful Punch might win this for me. I like the double defense / attack.
Okay. All right. I do have a Ryan. Have you ever played? Since there's a few on here that I'm gonna guess you probably haven't played.
I know one of them for sure. I'm
And
anticipating
it leads
this
me
one.
into one of my cards. So let's go with the most expensive event, Ryan. Stand Together.
Oh boy. It's an alliance for
Mhm.
cost. See, when a friendly character, this is how often I've played it. I have to read it. When a friendly character would take any amount of damage, blah, 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 prevent all the damage, deal much damage. No, I have not played it. I don't know if I'll ever play it.
Got a few more for you, Ryan. You ready? Second
Okay.
Wind.
I have played it because I tried to make Second Wind work, and ultimately I decided it's just not worth it.
Yeah, I should have known. That's an older protection one from, I think, Thor. So, all right. Maybe not Thor. Maybe Thor came in the back of Thor, something like that.
I think it
All
came
right.
with Thor.
I think so. Well, it's got the little hammer at the bottom. Hammer time. Ryan, have you ever played Muster Courage?
Muster Courage. Unfortunately, that's another one that I don't think I've ever played. I don't think it's bad, but I don't know. I don't think I've ever played it.
Okay. All right. How about everybody's friendly neighborhood, the Gardener, Cosmic Entity?
The Gardener. Yeah. No, I haven't. I don't think it's that great.
Okay, I got one more for you. Have you ever played Serve and Protect?
Now, this is a newer one that I think people have been liking because it's a little more accessible, I feel like. Let's see, prevent threat and give each of those characters tough stat. That's pretty good.
But my issue with that one is it's a hero interrupt. And
That
like,
is true.
yeah, you're going to get an advance or the equivalent in standard 2, 3, whatever. But most of the time it's like 1 per player.
Well, if you can time it up in a multiplayer sense, time it up.
Well, that's
you
true.
might
I
be able
guess
to-
I guess that's what it is, right? If you're playing multiplayer, 1 or 2 people in hero, they can contribute, blah blah blah. Yeah,
Bingo,
okay.
bingo.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see your point.
Yeah, I mean it's only 2 costs and it's alliance, which is insane. So that's not very that's not bad at all. Getting tough status cards, great. Stopping threat completely, that's pretty good.
All right,
But
Ryan,
then-
now you're just making me sad. We need friends.
Yes, we need friends. Let me see. I think I
Bring
have
it on, Ryan.
one- I think I have one card for you. Scott, have you ever played Aerial Intervention?
That would be, I think I have, because that was an Angel Precon card. So, yes.
Okay. You got me on that one, but don't worry. I have a plan. Scott, have you ever played Deflection? I got you on this one.
Deflection.
I got
What's
you
the
on this
cost of deflection?
2 costs.
There it is. No, I don't think I have.
Yes, gotcha. Let's see if there's any more. I think that one might have been played before. That one I think is getting more love. Okay, I think that might be it. All right, good game, everyone.
Good game.
You know what? I do have one more. Scott, have you ever played Fighting Fit?
Fighting Fit. What's the cost on that one?
It's a 2 cost.
Okay. Yes. This came out with Groot. Not Groot. Drax, I think. And or maybe Groot. Who knows?
Guardians Most Wanted.
I think it's Drax. And the big thing is, if your remaining hit points are starter, I just felt like I couldn't keep my hit points where they needed to be. I think it has a place with some heroes that can really keep their hit points high or go above starting. But like 2 costs for 2 damage is awful. 2 for 5 on the other hand, if you can hit that more consistently, it's not bad.
Yeah, I think this is one of those where the concept was good, but the execution just didn't land.
Yeah.
So I think they either, I don't know. I think it's a hard balance to have heroes have remaining or greater hit points. And maybe if they dropped it to 1 and you did deal 2 damage and maybe 4 damage if you're at equal or greater, I think it'd be more playable.
Yep.
All right.
I think Allie's going to take us a hot minute. We can always end with supports. There's only a few of them.
Okay.
Really only like
All
1 or
right.
2 that are worth anything.
Allies, there are a ton, and they are really high cost. So I likely have not played a good chunk of these.
So we won't play that. Maybe I'll just pick with my favorite 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, sure.
Well, now we'll say there are a lot of 2 cost in
Yeah.
protection. So,
There's
but you're right. There's a lot of 4 costs.
there's so many, and some of them are just not good.
Yeah.
But either way,
How about this, Ryan? Let's have a little bit of fun here. So
Okay.
let's go
Alright.
with our worst and our best pick based off of cost.
okay. So we do the 2 cost category, 3
Yeah,
cost,
2,
4
3,
cost.
4. Yeah.
All right. Ah, man, this is hard for the 2 cost. I think there's some really good ones. I'm going to go with the one that I've been able to play the most with most decks. I'm going to go with Victor Munchat.
Victor.
Yeah.
Now,
I like 2 costs, 4 health, and he takes 1 less damage for each attack. Sign me up.
pretty good. Now, noticing here, there's a lot of trait locking
Yes.
in a lot of these, and it may not even be only play if your identity is X, but some of them is do this if X other similar trait that you share is in play or does something. So I think from value, I think Silk's pretty good.
You're right. Silk's really good.
Yeah, being able to go search for a particular encounter card that's a treachery and get rid of it, because a lot of the bad stuff's treachery, let's just be honest.
That's true. But I agree with you. I think there's a lot of trait locked in a lot of these, because if I'm playing X-Men, it's armor hands down. Armor's great.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Clea's cool. She's super cheap, does some stuff, and shovels back to your deck. So
Yeah.
Pinpoint's kind of cool. He does some cool things, but he is truly trait locked on that one.
Yeah. So to be honest, I'd probably give it to Pinpoint as maybe I might give it to Daredevil as the weakest for the 2 costs. I just
Yeah.
haven't played Daredevil that much.
So Ryan, I'm pretty sure, I would have to look, but I'm pretty sure he's the only ally that has no trait.
Yeah, that's right. Which I think is super weird.
Super weird. And there may be a rat out there, I just never cared to go look. But what trait would you give Mr. Daredevil?
Blind.
Blind. Ouch.
Well, I mean he is.
He is.
That's one of the unique things about him.
Could you not have looked at maybe one of his friends and given him Defender?
Yeah, I mean I could do that, but he has a different suit, so I didn't know what he was doing.
It's true. I think he's from the Penny Parker universe, SPDR.
Maybe
just
New
cool
Yorker.
dude.
Yeah, there you go.
Fun guy.
the cool dude trait.
Good job. Yeah, I think yeah.
All right.
Someone's
Let's
gotta
do
get it.
those.
Three
Let's do three
cost.
cost. Yeah, I think this one's hard, but I think no. Well, I don't know. Dang it! It's always hard when you have to figure this out.
Oh, there's even more 3 costs. I think kind of overall, I would probably have to give it to maybe Brother Voodoo or Jocasta. They've got some good responses, I think.
Yeah, they do have some pretty good one. I think you're playing X-Men. I think Polaris is pretty solid.
Yeah.
And again, I think if it wasn't for the trait, I think Spider-Man Noir can be pretty good too. I have always liked Warlock. I like being able to heal him. He's just kind of weak, but if you can soup him up a little bit, he can be pretty strong.
Yeah, we need to see more X Factor love, so.
Yeah. But I think for the purpose of this, I think I'll give it to Jocasta.
Okay.
Being able to
Ryan,
just have one ready to go.
have you ever played Moondragon? Let's just be honest here.
I have not, no. I do not like the ability. It's not great to me.
Okay.
There's the weakest.
Forecast.
All right. Forecast.
Where's that?
This one's tough. I think I know what a lot of people would say.
Okay, well, let's hear that. What do you think people would say?
Iron Fist.
Will you go Iron Fist? Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
I think a lot of people like Iron Fist.
I've seen a lot of people doing a lot of stuff with Rogue recently, so.
Yeah, we've seen several decks. The Winning Hand podcast has thrown out a rogue deck that's really interesting.
Yeah, I heard about that. Ryan, I'm going to go ahead and pick yours for you, if you don't mind.
Okay, let's see if you get it right.
I'm going to get it right. You would go with Multiple Man.
How in the world did you know that?
I just know things.
I am a huge fan of Multiple Man. I haven't played him in a while, but I really like what he does.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think an honorable mention is a Nova. There's like an Iron Man Nova deck that just makes him spend a whole bunch of lightning resources to deal damage to enemies, which is fun since he doesn't exhaust to do it. So I really like that.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if I really have one that's like, ooh, I really played this one a whole bunch. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I would just go Iron Fist for ease of episode.
Okay. Trying to think, there's several that I haven't really played. I haven't really played Martyr.
Now, Rock Slide, Warpath.
I think Protector is probably the worst.
Now, I don't know. I'm not a comic expert, but does Warpath fly? Because I need to know why he's aerial.
You know, to be honest, I don't remember him flying, but maybe he does.
Okay. I need someone to give me a comic reference to reference that one too.
He's in his like dark outfit, so this is looking like Age of Apocalypse type stuff.
All right, Ryan. I need to know if you've ever played Protector, actually.
Oh, it is the worst one. So I have played it just because it is, man. I do not like it. You not only is Protector gonna take, or like when Protector would take damage, so you're having to defend with Protector.
Well, not necessarily. It could be consequential. I think the purpose is to make her attack and make it pay a science resource to decrease the consequential by 1 on the attack.
But that's still terrible.
It's awful. After having to pay 4 to get her
terrible.
out, yeah, I'm with you.
4 to get her out, plus you have to just pay an extra one just to keep her alive a little bit longer. It's not good.
You could almost convince me if the attack had 1 consequential.
Yes. Kind of make it a whatever you call it type ally.
Right, kind of like a blade in essence. You got to pay a physical to not make it go away.
Yes, if it was Blade, I think I would be cool with that, but it's not.
Or
It's
a
not
Wonder
great.
Man. You got to pay to use him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a miss.
There's probably some person out there who's like, Protector's my favorite.
You know what? And if it is, good for you.
Good
Please,
for you.
Let us know the deck that you use Protector and that's actually good. I would love to be wrong, but I'm not.
Well, that's the fun thing about this game, right? I mean, everyone plays a little bit different. There's the wrong way to play and then the right way to play.
That's true. That's true. You know what? And if you're playing with a protector, you're wrong. I'm just kidding. Seriously, if you're playing with a protector, good for you. I'm glad you're making protector work, but I have not been able to.
All right, Ryan. Everyone's favorite card type, supports.
Is it everybody's favorite?
No, not at all.
All right. I think this one's going to be a fun one. I like the supports on here. All right. Let's see. I know the one I'm going to pick, but there's some other ones.
I can pick your honorable mention for you too, Ryan.
You know my honorable mention? All right. You know what? Let's do it. Let's play a game. What is Ryan's picks?
Okay. Your honorable mention is Angel's Aerie.
Okay.
You just like that card. Be able to throw a bunch of counters on it, flip down, fill out.
Must have talked about that a couple times.
And then everybody's, favorite protection support. The best one is the Night Nurse.
Gosh.
Am I wrong? Am I right?
No, you're spot on. You're spot on.
Yeah. If you want to hear more about the Night Nurse, probably the best episode that the Winning Hand podcast has ever had talks about the Night Nurse. So just go check it out.
Ooh, that's right. Shout out.
So.
Yeah, you're right. Night Nurse is amazing. One cost, does great things, and Angel's Aerie, I've not always been able to make it work, but when it does, it's actually been pretty awesome. So
pretty good. I think Med Team's another old school staple. So
yeah, I think it still has its place. You can make it work, and especially with the new Shield stuff coming out, it could prove to be even better.
I mean, they didn't go to 8 years of medical school to work on just ordinary people. They did all that to go to Shield Med Team.
Shield Med. Now that's
a reality TV show.
Oh, well, I was gonna say that needs to be the Disney Plus next show.
Okay.
Shield Med.
Shield Med.
Do all the drama of the medical shows and then watch YouTube videos of actual doctors be like, you would never do that in an actual medical situation and stuff like that. That's not how you chart. No one's charting in this show. That's half the work.
That's all the work.
Yeah.
All right. Protection. There it is, all laid out. An hour-long podcast, Ryan. That's all you need to know.
All right. Well, Scott, the people are wanting to hear, what is next for Protection? What's the next big thing? What do we want to see Protection continue to develop into?
That's a good question, Ryan. So if you've got something, feel free to start. I gotta look over some stuff because I feel like a lot of the things have kind of already been, gone down that road. Like if you prevent all the damage, if you take no damage for this attack, do something, right? We've seen that a whole bunch.
Yeah. Well, I think my real answer is I think they just need to keep going because I think they have explored different avenues of protection and I think they've been good. That's why I think it's the most improved aspect is they've changed some things up. They didn't just make it solely protection related. I can do a protection deck and it not be about defense. That's how good it's become. So honestly, just they need to keep doing what they're doing and, changing things up and making it good like it's been.
Okay. No, I agree with you. I think protection is definitely much more improved. I will say there was a time probably in the past 2 years where I felt like I kept wanting to go back to protection for a lot of the heroes. I think there's some consistency that it brings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. If I had to put something in, I would like to see some more team-related cards, maybe, that they can explore. Like if you defend for another player, do X or something like that. Maybe there's some design space in there for something like that.
Okay, I can see that.
Or maybe some ally defense related stuff. I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm going with that one.
I think a cool card, cool concept, very small niche thing, but I think a flirt with something with a round of tough. So if an enemy with a tough status card initiates an attack against you, do X or something.
I think you've kind of talked about that before.
Yeah, I've talked about doing some stuff with status cards, but not necessarily to that, but...
So would it be something like if they have a tough status card, you can do more against them? Or
okay, now you made me think a little bit more. It's when an enemy initiates attack against you, give them a tough status card, but then you get to decrease that attack by 2, 3, 4, whatever the number happens to be.
Okay, so almost kind of like the concepts that obviously Pool does, but you know, some of the other ones have explored, like pulling out minions and stuff. This
Sure.
one could be give a tough status card, but you get to do something like reduce it by 3 or something.
Lessen the blow. Yeah.
That could be some interesting interactions.
So there you go.
I'm trying to think what aspect of the encounter phase protection can explore, because I feel like minions are aggression, actual counter cards like treacheries is kind of more justice. I guess it's just a straight villain interaction would be protection.
Like being
since it's
attacked.
defense.
Yeah. I think maybe a card that lets you manipulate the encounter deck, the top, say, 3 cards or something. I know there's ways around it already, but not necessarily to protection. That way you can kind of set up a turn.
Yeah, what about a little bit more relating to like boost cards?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're manipulating the encounter deck to make your boost cards be whatever.
Be what you want it to be. Yeah. All right. Well, there's some options. So FFG, I'm glad you're writing it all down. Make sure you give us the credit when that comes out. You can call us at 555. All right, man. Well, I love protection. I think it's great. I think it's definitely become probably my favorite aspect to play. I don't know if I think Justice is still the one I always gravitate towards, but I really enjoy playing protection. So
yeah, I like protection. Like I said, I've kind of turned into my kind of go-to, I think, at least for right now, until I can find something better in either leadership or aggression. I'll let you keep the yellow cards.
All right. Well, Scott, that is all the aspects, but maybe we're not done. Who knows? A little sneak peek for the future.
That's right. To be continued.
All right, close this out.
All right. If we made protection your new favorite, or if we were completely wrong on which resource that you choose to run in protection, we want to hear about it. Reach out to us at marvelchampionspod@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us on any other social media stuff. We should be out there. If they don't message you back, we'll blame it on Ryan. And as always, if you want to go from a chump to a champ, listen to the Marvel Champions podcast. Thanks.
Protector isn't good. I'm sorry. It's terrible. See you all.